Hello out there, everybody. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for listening to me do another Gamers Thoughts Live. Because I got tongue tied right there, and I slowly corrected that one. um, yeah. So, Dragon Ball Fighter Z is not getting a Switch port because it's not planned. Haruhi. I know how to say it, and for some reason my brain stops whenever I see your name pop up. But what's up? Um, um, but I'm like, listen, I'm like sitting here thinking about this. Like, okay, Bandai Namco, Namco Bandai, whatever you want to call yourselves, and Arc System Works. I know Arc System Works. I don't think they have a problem with putting it on there since they had no problem putting a bunch of games on 3DS. So I don't think it's an issue with them. I think that it's just more or less that they're waiting for people to sit and complain about it, which I don't see why you would want people who potentially are going to buy your game to complain about wanting it before you give it to them. But I do understand not knowing if, hey, this is a fighting game that will do well over here. Oh yeah, I already know it's not an issue with them worrying about power, because listen, as good as the game looks, this is something that could have been ran on the Wii U, the 360, and the PS3. It could have literally been run on those three consoles. So I have no doubt, I have no issue think that it's a power thing. So yeah, I was one of those people that kind of spammed them too, but if you're going to do this, if we're going to play the cat and mouse game of, hey, let's see if they're interested in it, let's see if they want it, people are eventually going to get turned off at that thought. It's just going to be like, hey, if you guys want us to have the game to play, put it out for us, and we'll buy it. We'll go get it. But it's just like the thing is, I've seen, oddly enough, Namco Bandai, they'll put games on Nintendo platform, but they'll make sure that the games that they put on Nintendo are separate from everybody else. Which I have no problem with that personally. I don't. But if you notice something like Dragon Ball, and I made the same point when I did it was a game ideas for the Wii U, and I talked about Dragon Ball Xenoverse and a few other Dragon Ball games like Dragon Ball Heroes that could have done very well on the Wii U. It's fucking Dragon Ball. It's internationally known. It's one of the biggest animes out there. It's one of the biggest anime franchises in the world, if not the biggest. I think Naruto outdoes it slightly. I could be wrong, but I think Naruto is still a little bit bigger overall. But it's one of the biggest, most well-known anime franchises on the planet. And the games, again, no matter where you put them, they sell. Like, so, to me, with this particular IP, this particular franchise, saying we need to see fan demand for it is almost an oxymoron. It's like, hey, we know that this is super popular everywhere. We know that a lot of people love this. We know that everybody's interested in this. But we're going to say you guys can't have it because we don't know if you actually want it. And I'm like, scratching my head on that. like it's not like this is some super obscure thing that nobody knows about, and you just have a few people saying, "Oh, please put this over here because we want it." I can understand then where you say like, maybe it's not gonna work out. I don't know, but this is fucking Dragon Ball. That's why I'm like, it's Dragon Ball. It's not. If you took something like King of Tennis, which is an obscure anime for the West, I could understand people not wanting to put that over here. I wholly understand that. I completely get you. I could completely get you if you say, hey, I'm not going to put this on the Switch because I don't know if there's going to be enough demand for it. But what gets me even worse, it's on Xbox. Xbox, which notoriously is disliked in Japan. notoriously disliked in Japan. But not going to the Switch. Like that's, I'm like, whoa. Like, and again, I don't have a problem with it being on the Xbox One, because again, that's just another option for me to get it since I have one, and I can get it on PC. I don't have a problem with it being on that platform. Just like Kingdom Hearts, I'm looking at, like, Kingdom Hearts is going to Xbox, where it likely will not do as well, but you won't put it on the Nintendo platform, where it possibly will, even though the DS games and 3DS games, as far as I remember, even the Game Boy Advance game, all did pretty well. So I'm like, and I'm looking at it, it's like, you guys have literally what you need. And like, and this is the 2D Dragon Ball Z game people have been like fucking begging for. Like, you mean to tell me you're not gonna put it on every platform possible that you can get it on, or at least every current platform that you can get it on to make money off of? Because it's going to sell no matter where you put it. It's that's why I'm like so like lost on this. Like, if you're gonna make one group of consumers, buyers, beg you for a game, then everyone should be treated the same way. It shouldn't just be the one group. That honestly, that's one, that's unfair, and two, again, you're going to eventually turn off the people that would go out their way to get it on that platform. They'll just say, fuck it, I'll get it somewhere else. I'm not even going to worry about asking for it here. Because every time something comes out and it looks like it will be cool, and I know this works, it would work for this platform, and even the dev team themselves said, hey, it's not an issue of the power of the console. So if that's not the issue, you shouldn't make everybody beg for it. And Namco Bandai has done this several times. They have done this several times. This is a different story from asking for localization for where. It's a different story from asking for localization for something like this. The game was already made. It's just that they didn't know if people in the West would want it. And I can understand this. I can understand them not knowing if people in the West would be interested in this. I get that. I completely get that. But guess what it led to? It led to this, did it not? On Nintendo. So only platform that these two games are on is the 3DS. But you questioned if Nintendo fans will go out and get those types of games. Like, listen, most Nintendo fans will have no problem picking up a Japanese-oriented game. I can tell you that right now. Most Nintendo platform owners will have no problem picking up a Japanese-oriented game. Now, Western games, you might have a bit more of a problem depending upon the quality of the game, whether or not it's a multi-plat that's been on other platforms, and whether or not it's a gimped version of that game, or a version of the game that has come out like maybe a year later than its other versions. And I'm not talking about like a remastered version of a game, but just like a version of the game that just came out later. Like that, like Batman Arkham City, for instance. I waited to get the Wii U version because I wanted all the gamepad functionality. But there are a lot of people who bought that game on PS3, 360, and PC already. They weren't going to spend the money to get it again. They didn't want to. Like, yeah, the features were cool and all, but they weren't going to do it. I personally waited for it because I wanted that version of the game since I knew it was coming. Like, if I had known about it and I had bought the 360 version, I wouldn't have gotten the Wii U version. I likely wouldn't have. I mean, maybe. I possibly might have. I'm one of those people that might actually buy a different version of a game if it has exclusive features and uses. Like, because it's just something else it's another way I can get to enjoy a game. But a lot of people won't. But, either way, like, I in that tangent, it's fucking Dragon Ball. Like, if you don't know the power of the franchise that you are using, you shouldn't have it. You literally should not have the license to those games. And somebody else deserves to have it. If you really do not know the lasting power of the franchise that you are making games for, you shouldn't be making games for it anymore. Or you shouldn't have the license to have other companies develop those games. Honestly, you shouldn't. Because that means you're not confident in the branding of it, the brand itself, which again, it's a highly popular brand. It will make money anywhere. This is ridiculous. I mean, Toei, y'all gotta Toei, Funimation, y'all might want to consider somebody else for your game series if Namco Bandai is not that confident in it. It's ridiculous. But that's it. I'm done. I'm done talking about that. I'll probably do another stream because there's a couple of things I want to talk about because there's a lot of stuff that happened over E3 that I just didn't jump right on because there was no point in me jumping right on it, or I just didn't feel like there was a point in me jumping right on it until I processed it a little bit better. But that's it. Thank you guys very much for listening to this video. Keep your eyes and ears up for more stuff from me, and until the next time, please enjoy your games and peace out. And just look out for the next one.